The next concept we have is VPN. What is VPN? Have you ever used VPN?
Virtual private networks.
That is the full form. Have you ever used VPN? Yeah, any VPN.
Yeah, open VPN I use.
Open VPN you have used.
Yes.
What about you guys? You in mobile, do you use VPN? Why?
Secure our traffic.
Secure our traffic.
So I use it for increasing speed.
Increasing speed of internet.
Also protect our IP address, sir. It will not visible our IP address.
See, what happens? Usually, let's say you might have seen that whenever you try to access some websites that are blocked. Okay. What will happen? Directly, if you try to access, you will not be able to access those websites. Why? Because someone is watching over your traffic and they are able to filter out that, okay, you're trying to visit this particular website, this should be blocked. You should not be able to access this. Correct? So they are looking at your traffic. That's why they are able to block, right? Correct? But when you connect VPN, you are able to use. How this is happening? How this is happening? So what usually happen when you go to the internet directly, your traffic that is being monitored by your governments, your internet service providers, and even the hackers. Okay. Everybody is sitting and monitoring your traffic and looking what you're doing on the internet. Okay. Each and everything is getting recorded. Okay. So whenever you try to visit a restricted website, you are not able to access. Why? Because they are able to see your traffic and filter it out. Okay. So to keep your privacy online, okay, to maintain your privacy online, what you can do? You can use VPN, specifically when you are trying to make a payment. Okay, what people usually do, they'll go to the, let's say, public places you go, there you get the free Wi-Fi. Okay, and what people will do? They'll just start browsing. What if a hacker is sitting on there? Do you have any idea what is going on? He'll be able to see even your user IDs, passwords, everything. And we are just getting free internet, happy to download the things. Okay, happy to access the website. Because usually what people do, they'll access, like, in what scenarios, if you're getting free Wi-Fi, either they'll download some kind of movies or something like that, or else what they're going to do, they are going to browse their Facebook, Instagram, or some accounts, or they are going to make some payment. Usually these kind of tasks they'll perform. Correct. So if think it as a hacker, if a hacker is sitting there, if you are accessing your social media, he'll get your user IDs and password. Okay. And if you are making a payment, maybe he'll get the UPI pins or something. Okay. Or else if you are downloading something, then maybe he might manipulate the packet in between and send a Trojan in your system or in your phones. And later on, he'll be able to take remote access of your device. Okay. Like in case of phones or laptops, what the hackers usually do, they are going to, like, if they have implanted a Trojan or backdoor in your system or your phone, then what will happen? They can access your microphone anytime. They can access your webcam. Webcam means your phone's camera, front and back both, anytime. Okay. They can see what you're doing live on the screen. Means anytime, anything, what all the messages, calls, your storage, everything will be gone. Okay. So that's why you have to use VPN, so that you can protect yourself when you're browsing the internet. Specifically, every time you're browsing the internet, you should use a VPN. Okay. You should always use a VPN whenever you're accessing the internet, because your internet is the most unsecure network. Okay. This is the most unsecure network. So you should always use a VPN. Now, again, whenever you're going with the VPN, you might see that there are a lot of VPN. There are lots of VPNs available. Some are free, some are paid. And which one we prefer? Free. Now think of something why someone would give you something for free. The company has spent some time, some effort, some money. Okay, they are paying the developer team and everything for creating that thing. and now they are giving you for free. What is the benefit?
They
That means they want to collect something else.
Hmm?
They want to collect something else.
Okay.
They collect the data and sell in the data markets.
See, there are few ways. Either they are providing you for free because your VPN is going to have lots of ads, advertisements. Every time you connect or disconnect, you will get ads and everything. Okay. Second thing, maybe they are monitoring your traffic and selling your data. Okay. See, who doesn't sell the data the most? You can say the highest data collector is your Google itself. Okay. Facebook comes later. No one is there in comparison to your Google. Because every time, let's say, you want to search something on the internet, where you'll go? Google. Your phone will have a Gmail ID associated. Okay. With your Gmail ID, Google will be able to see all your locations, where you have been, how long you have been there. Okay. Then second thing, Google will have access to all your searches and everything. Because in your phone, you have access to Google. Even if you are moving from this room to another room, also in this building or the nearby building, Google will have that detail as well.
You say that ask a feedback. How is this place?
No, not about the feedback, without feedback also. Okay. See, if you are in the CH, I would show you that, okay, how Google is collecting all the information and what all the information Google has. Okay, simply do one thing. You can, okay, after this class, what you can do, you can just go to Google and you can search my activity in the Google. Simply search my activity, nothing else. You'll get to know everything, that what Google has and to what extent Google has the access to your devices. Okay, so everyone is selling the data. Let's say you will visit Google and say you are looking for a smartphone. Now you go to any website, there you will see smartphone ads. How come? Data, selling out data. Okay. If you are visiting Flipkart, looking for a phone, now everywhere phone ads. Looking for a car, everywhere car ads. Okay. Visit a website that is using a credit card. Now you'll get calls from the bank. Do you want a credit card? That's the thing. Everyone is collecting and selling out your data. So specifically, especially when you're accessing the internet, always use the VPN. And always try to avoid using free VPNs. Always try to avoid free VPNs. Okay. If you want to use a good VPN, I'll suggest you one. You can go with the Cloudflare VPN. Okay. It will, see, it is free, no doubt. And there will be no ads. And Cloudflare is a trusted company as well. Okay. Then other thing, if you want to take paid version, there is no difference between the free and paid version. Just you will get higher internet speed and all those things. That you will get access to good servers and all. Okay. So even for their paid version, they'll charge you around 70 rupees per month, I think. So not a big deal. So always try to avoid free VPNs. Like there are lots of Turbo VPN, Speed VPN, Super VPN. I don't know, different names. Okay, so try to avoid those free VPNs because they might be collecting your information. Okay, so for Android, it is like 70 rupees per month, and for PCs, it is completely free. Okay, so try to avoid going to internet, specifically when you are making payments or doing something. And one more thing I'll suggest, do not download anything from the third-party websites. Some people, what they'll do, okay, they'll see that, okay, this VPN is paid. What I'll do, I'll go to Google and download the crack. Correct. Modded applications. So with those applications, what is a mod application? What is a mod application? Means some modifications have been done in that particular application. Now, how do you know that that particular application itself is not a virus or backdoor? So never download anything from the third party, and specifically all the cracked versions, modded applications, do not use them. Okay. This is clear. Now, what is the benefit with the VPN? See, let's say this is your smartphone and this is Google server and you're going to access it through the internet. This is the internet. So usually you will directly connect to the ISP, and through the ISP, you will connect to the Google server. Correct? Now what will happen? Your data is traveling simply through the ISP. No problem. And here the hackers are there. Your government is there. Okay. And your internet service provider is there. So they can continuously monitor your data. And if you're visiting a restricted item, then they will block it. What happens when you create VPN? When you use a VPN? Your VPN is simply going to, first of all, it is going to create a virtual tunnel within this network itself. Okay. And this tunnel, it is encrypted. This tunnel is encrypted. Now, since this tunnel is encrypted, first of all, they will not even come to know that something is going on. They will not even come to know. Why? Because this tunnel is encrypted. Other than that, whatever is your data, that is going to travel inside this tunnel only. Okay. And your data, even your data will travel in the encrypted form. Here, even your data will travel in the encrypted form. So now they are not even aware that something is going on. Okay. And even if they see, they will just see the tunnel. They will not be able to see the traffic. Okay. So since this tunnel is encrypted and your data is also encrypted, what will happen? Now they are not able to see that what kind of traffic you are sending or what kind of website you are visiting, right? So if they are not able to see, they are not able to filter it out. And that's why with the help of VPN, you are able to access all the restricted things. Is that clear? Okay. Now see, so VPN is nothing. VPN is basically a tunnel only between your source and destination. VPN is just a tunnel. Okay. And by default, this tunnel is not secure. For securing the tunnel, we have certain protocols like IPsec. And now you remember in the IPv6, there is a native support of IPsec. Okay. So IPsec is there, SSL is there, and now it is known as TLS. These are different protocols. Okay. That are used to provide security to your VPN tunnels. Okay. So in your NP Advanced, you will study about VPNs also, that how to configure VPN. And one sample example I'll also give you. Now see, a VPN is the easiest and most effective way for people to protect their internet traffic and keep their identities private online. Okay. As you connect to a secure VPN server, your traffic goes through an encrypted tunnel that nobody can see into, including your hackers, your government, and your internet service provider. Nobody will be able to see it. Okay. Now, when we are discussing about the enterprises, and if you go with the types of VPN, so there are two types of VPN: site-to-site VPN and remote access VPN. Okay. With the name and with the diagram itself, you can simply see what kind of VPN is a site-to-site VPN, what kind of VPN is a remote access VPN. Okay. Now see, what is a site? I can say a branch. Can say branch to branch VPN. So let's say you have one branch. Okay. This is one branch, let's say Bangalore branch. This is one branch, let's say Delhi branch. Okay. Now they want connectivity between each other. So one way is they should have their own line. They should install their own cable from Bangalore till Delhi. Now, first of all, imagine the cost of cable, around 2000 kilometers cable. Second thing, consider the cost of installation. They started installing from Bangalore, so they will have to take permissions from different states and different locations, the authorities. Okay, they will have to pay them. Then after, they will hire the people who are going to install the cable. Now, let's say they started from Bangalore, and when they reached Hyderabad, someone on the back was digging a hole in the land, and the cable is gone. Lots of problems. Okay. Plus, let's say somehow they installed now maintenance cost due to some natural problems or means anything. There can be problems with the cable. So, maintenance cost, then maintaining a 2000 kilometer cable is not an easy thing. So that will be very costly for the enterprise. Cannot afford. Okay. So what they will do, they will use the cables that are already installed. And who has installed the cables? Your internet service providers. Okay. So there are certain things like there is called lease line, MPLS. These kind of things are there. Lease line is an individual separate line. Okay, no other traffic, no traffic from other companies or public traffic that will not enter into this line. That is individually yours. Okay, all your traffic is going to pass through lease line. Then this is very costly. Your lease line is very costly. So they can go with the MPLS. Okay, so MPLS is a cheaper option. You can say shared, like you have a virtual private, you have an individual server and you have a shared server. So obviously, if you are sharing the resources, you will get what? Means the amount of bandwidth you will pay for that you will get, but that particular link will be shared. Okay, obviously, when performing the MPLS, okay, what will happen? Your traffic will be completely segregated from others. Okay, but it will be shared. Like it's kind of thing, let's say, when you are going with the website hosting, okay, I'm just giving you an example, not relevant to this. So there is something that you can buy virtual private servers. Means you can buy one server. Now that server is individually yours. No others websites will be hosted on this particular server. And one thing is they have created a server and now you are just buying hosting that you will pay 50 rupees per month. So some part of this they will give you, some resources they will assign to you, some resources they will assign to others. Okay. So when we are going to the site-to-site VPN, what will happen? Let's say the company has gone with the lease line or MPLS, anything for the connectivity purpose. Okay, they have taken a connection. Now this connection again, whose network is this? Service provider network. Correct. So the data will still pass through it, still insecure. So what we will do on the edge device, let's say on the outside router of this company and outside router of this company, you will configure the VPN. Okay. And when you will configure the VPN, so what will happen whenever you want to communicate from this branch to this branch? What will happen? A tunnel will be created. A tunnel will be created. And again, your traffic will pass through this tunnel and you are secure now. Okay. Now, if you see, do I need to configure VPN on the systems that are available inside this company? Let's say if there are systems available here, do I need to configure VPN for them? No. Why? Because these systems, they are communicating in the internal local area network. This is their LAN. So for internal communication, we do not require a VPN. VPN we will require only when we are going through the internet, the service provider network. Okay. Similarly, do I need to configure here? No. Okay. And when I want to communicate from this PC to this PC, I will go through this. So my VPN is configured where? On the router. So only router will establish the tunnel. These PCs will not be aware of the VPNs. Okay, they don't have to worry about the VPNs. Let's say, for example, if you use VPN, if in this company, let's say in NH, if on the router we have configured VPN that, okay, whenever we want to go to the internet or our other branch, we will use the VPN. Okay. Now, I do not need to configure VPN on my system. Why? Because when I will initiate the traffic, obviously my traffic will go through that router only. So that router will automatically establish the VPN tunnel and then the traffic will pass. So in case of site-to-site VPN, always remember the VPN tunnel configuration is done only on the edge devices, not on the internal devices. Okay, whether it is a router or firewall, there only you're going to do the configuration. Now, second scenario is your remote access VPN. Remote access means someone is accessing remotely. Let's say you are working from home. Okay, so if you are working from home and you want to connect to your company network, so at your home, you will take an internet connection to connect to your company. Correct. Okay. So the second type of VPN we have remote access VPN. So consider a scenario when you are working from home. So you want to connect to the company network. Now again, for connecting to the company, you will need internet connection at your home. And if you're taking internet connection at your home, and if you're trying to connect to company from your system, again, your traffic will pass through service provider network, right? Again, insecure. So to prevent this traffic, we will need configuration of VPN. Now, one configuration will be there on the server in the company, and second configuration will be present on your systems. Okay. So here what will happen? Each and every host that is accessing the network from some remote place, or you can say each and every employee who is working from home, they will need to initiate tunnel setup here. Okay. So this is the difference between site-to-site VPN and remote access VPN. Site-to-site VPN will have VPN tunnel setup between two sites only. And remote access VPN will have VPN tunnel setup between the server and each and every remote device. Okay. Now, with the help of remote access VPN, what will happen? See, if you want to create remote access VPN, your server IP should be fixed. Who will be the source? Who will be initiating the setup? Obviously, the client. Who will be initiating the tunnel? The client. So client IP is not fixed. Why? Because maybe sometimes he's accessing from home. Okay. Maybe sometime he will access from some public network. Maybe sometime he will access from some other country also. Right. So client IP is not fixed. Maybe sometime he'll be using mobile hotspot. Sometime he'll be using his own home network. So this IP tend to change. But the destination IP, you can say source IP is not fixed and the destination IP is. But in case of remote access VPN, both of the IPs should be fixed because the branches are fixed. Here, both the source and destination should be fixed. Site-to-site VPN. In the remote access VPN, only destination is fixed, source can change. Is that clear? Okay.
So, normally, when we connect VPN, for example, so whether we will be able to see hops and over the internet?
No. When you're connecting VPN, this is like simply, if you connect VPN, see, these IPs will also be private IPs. Okay. So this will be like you're connecting this private network with this private network. Simple.
I'm in the VPN gateway.
I'm
on the VPN gateway.
Okay, you are on this device.
Yeah, router. I'm doing trace route to the peer IP, not the internal network, peer IP. So since it is all encrypted,
so directly you will get access. No hop. You will not be able to see the ISP hops.
By doing trace route.
Yes. Why? Because to which IP you initiate. See, when you're creating a tunnel, what happens? Let's say this is one router, other branch router. Okay. And let's say there is internal network of ISP. Okay. Like this. Now what will happen? You will have one public IP. Right? Let's say P1. Here also one public IP. Let's say P2. Correct? Now what will happen when you will initiate tunnel setup? Here you will set one private IP, let's say PR1, PR2. And these two private IP will be in the same networks. Okay. Now depends on what is the source. When you try to trace route, what will be the source? This public IP or this private IP?
Public IP will be able to.
Yes. If you initiate for this public IP, definitely you will see. But if you initiate for this private IP, this is like directly connected only. So you will not be able to see. Okay. So usually, let's say right now, when I go to Google, okay, when I trace route for Google, I'll see all the hops. Okay. But if let's say Google is my another company, another branch of Google, and this is head branch of Google. So if I directly go and ping for the public IP, I will see all the hops. But if I have initiated tunnel and I'm looking for the tunnel other IP, that is like a directly connected only. So that will not show me the hops.
So peer IPs are public, then we
No. Tunnel IPs will be private only.
um,
Yeah. Whatever IPs you will set up when you create the tunnel, I'll show you that there will be difference. The private, public IPs will be different, and whatever tunnel IP you set, that will be different.
channel use we are telling about the encryption.
No. See, there is something called as this tunnel is again like a logical interface. Consider like a loopback interface only. This is a logical interface. So logically, this tunnel will be created. There will be no physical tunnel. Actually, your traffic will be passing through this private public IP to this public IP only. But when you will initiate a tunnel, you will say interface tunnel, let's say 0. Then what you'll do? You will say tunnel source, from where your tunnel will start. You'll give the source, this public IP, destination, this public IP. Then you will set up the IP address. So that IP address will be your tunnel IP address. Okay. So actually you will say that traffic will pass through the tunnel, but actually it will be using the same line only. But since the header will have your tunnel IP, means no one will be able to see. Okay. And that's why you say that when you use VPN, your public IP changes. Because that is the tunnel IP actually, not your IP. Now see what all the differences. So in site-to-site VPN, IPsec security method is used to create an encrypted tunnel from one customer network to remote site of the customer. And in remote access VPN, individual users connect to the private network. So here two sites will connect. Here individual users will connect. Site-to-site VPN does not need setup on each client because it is done on the edge devices. And here remote access VPN may or may not need, because if the people are working inside the company, they do not need. If they are working remotely, they will need. Site-to-site VPN does not require every user to initiate tunnel setup, because tunnel setup will be initiated by the edge devices. And here all the remote access users. Okay, remote access VPN require every remote access user to initiate tunnel VPN tunnel setup. Okay, every user who is working from home, you can say. Site-to-site VPN support IPsec, remote access support IPsec SSL. Okay, in site-to-site VPN, multiple users are not allowed, because again, who is initiating the tunnel setup? Only the edge devices. So multiple users not required, but here multiple users are allowed, because all the remote access users, they will be initiating the tunnel setup. Now, different protocols and encryption mechanisms. So we have two types of encryption. One is the symmetric and second is the asymmetric. See, the reason you create VPN is CIA, not the Central Intelligence Agency. Okay. CIA means confidentiality. Second is integrity. And third is the authentication. Authentication, we already know, verification of user, whether you're communicating with the correct user. Confidentiality. Confidentiality is what? The data should not be accessible to the unauthorized people. So how? So what you will do here, in case of confidentiality, you perform encryption. Means you convert your readable data into unreadable format. Scrambled text. Okay. That also known as ciphertext. Okay. Now that is in the unreadable form, and in the network, it will travel in the unreadable form only. Okay. So what will happen? If someone is capturing also, no one will not be able to understand this. Then we have integrity. Integrity is what? Making sure that your data has not been modified in the transit. When your data was traveling over the network, it has not been modified. And for this purpose, hashing is performed. Remember the checksum and all? That kind of scenario. Okay. So if we discuss about the encryption, we have two types of encryption. One is the symmetric and second is the asymmetric. Okay, also known as public key encryption. In the symmetric key, this is like your home. At your home door, you put a lock, right? Same key you used to lock, same key you used to unlock. So in the symmetric key, same key will be used for encryption and the same key will be used for decryption. Okay. So this is where the key for encryption and decryption is the same. Means kind of you can say password. Okay. Kind of you can say password. So for encryption and decryption, there is the same key. But in case of asymmetric encryption, there is a key pair. Okay. And that key pair include public and private keys. The public key will be used for encryption and the private key will be used for decryption. Public key will be used for encryption, private key will be used for decryption. Okay. This is the asymmetric. So this is more secure form of encryption, the asymmetric encryption. Then in the hashing, we have different algorithms like your RSA. Sorry, RSA is not the hashing, encryption only. Okay. RSA stands for reverse Shamir and Edelman. Remember, crypto key generate RSA. SSH. We created the encryption keys. And there, RSA is a type of public key encryption, asymmetric encryption. So two keys are generated, public and private. Okay. So this is typically done, the public key encryption, this is typically done through the RSA algorithm, which has essentially been the foundation of internet security for about 2 decades. Not just SSH, this has been used to encrypt lots of different protocols also. Okay. Then for hashing, we have an algorithm, SHA. What happened to this? For hashing purpose, we have different algorithms, like there is MD5, there is SHA. Okay. SHA means secure hashing algorithm. So in this process, a unique finger, see in the hashing, what will happen? Your encryption is reversible. Means if you encrypt something, that can be decrypted. But your hashing is irreversible, cannot be reversed. You cannot reverse engineer a hash value. Okay. So this is used for the integrity. And for this purpose, we have algorithms like MD5. Okay. And we have SHA, secure hashing algorithm. Okay. So in these, what will happen? A random text will be generated, you can say. A random text will be generated. In this process, a unique fingerprint is created to validate the TLS certificate, transport layer security certificate, like a SSL certificate only. To check whether you are connecting to the server you are supposed to be, to make sure that you're connecting to the correct server. Without this, a hacker could reroute your traffic to their own server instead of your VPN provider. Okay, so that's why we have the hashing. Okay, and what happens in the hashing, that even if you change a small part of your traffic, even if you change, I think I have shown you the MD5 hashing, I have shown you, right? We have seen that even if you do it from a capital to uppercase or uppercase to lowercase, the hash value will completely change, right? So this way you will be able to know whether the data has been modified in the transit or no. Okay, so there are different protocols. So SSL and TLS, these are for the security of your VPN tunnels. Then you have OpenVPN, IKE version 2. This is again in the IPsec you will see. Okay, then your L2TP, SSTP, PPTP, these are type of your remote, site-to-site VPN. Okay, these are site-to-site VPNs. So these VPNs you will be studying in your NP Advanced. Is that clear? Introduction to VPN and difference between site-to-site and remote access clear? Okay. So now we'll start with the wireless.
Sir, I have 2 questions. Sir, I'm confused about that. Some people in my village, they are using VPNs. They are accessing free internet. How it happens?
I don't think this is possible, first of all.
Actually, they are doing so.
I haven't seen so far, actually.
Actually, I've seen it. And as person use it, increase speed and I also.
See, I don't think increasing speed and these are part of your VPNs. VPN is just setting up the tunnel, nothing else.
So what happens in the time of unless valley? Almost all vehicles using these VPNs.
So
all this particular districts and religious security, and it was happening.
I haven't seen such kind of
I
thing
have
actually,
seen-
so I cannot tell you
And
anything
so
here.
nowadays, what is happening? Most of the guys are not doing recharge, particularly for Geo. They told if we do the recharge, it will not work. If we don't do the recharge, it will.
That can be a bug in their network or something, but I haven't seen something in. See, VPN concept is just simple. What your VPN is going to do, VPN is just going to set up the tunnel between source and destination. It is going to encrypt the tunnel. Okay, this is the basic of your VPN. No special configuration. Maybe if you are using some sort of VPN, they are doing some sort of access point configuration in your device. Okay, and they are routing your traffic through their server. These kind of scenarios can happen, but I'm not sure. Okay.
ISPs are also included in IP.
Huh?
ISPs are also included in IP also.
Sorry.
ISP, internet service provider, also include our IP, mobile IP also to connect network.
Obviously, if you want to connect to the internet, you need to have an IP. Okay. Entire device communication will happen through the IP. Even your smart devices, if you are having a smart TV, smart AC, everything they are working over the IP only. Okay. All right.
Maybe this thing, I think it's related to some server kind of thing.
That's what I'm saying, that they're routing somehow they are doing some sort of configuration in your device through the VPN. That looks like a VPN, but your traffic is routed through their own server.
So that server maybe the load would be less and it
Correct.
can be, so the data traffic would be like
But
upload
there is
would be-
not a sure thing that your data, whatever you're accessing, that is secure.
Yes.
Okay. Because VPN tunnel setup, this is a simple thing that your traffic will go from source to destination between a tunnel. Okay. Let's say if you are using a free VPN and untrusted VPN also, there is a risk. Why? Because the tunnel setup will be done between your device and the server only. Now, beyond that, where is your traffic going? You don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
There are hundreds of VPNs in the new stables like
Correct.
one.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That you can be sure then. And that's why I suggested the trusted one only. Okay.